Hello, this is Bruce Armstrong again with the videos on recording and editing collaborative vocal music videos. This is the final video where I can demonstrate the use of the OpenShot video editor and how you combine the videos and put them all together and make it all work as one single thing. So this is the outline. We're down here to the bottom of video 8. Creating basic multiple participant screen from all the videos and adjusting the volumes and cropping and all of that kind of stuff, and then finalizing the final video. So what we're going to do is go out of this stop share, and then I'm going to share the screen of mine. I'm going to show you the basic OpenShot. This is again, in video 7, you probably saw this, and it is a blank canvas, so to speak. And so I'm going to add a video, and I'm going to pick one here from a prior thing that I've done. And here it goes up in the top. And then I'm going to put this one in track 1, drag it down here. And I'm going to move it over a little bit because the piano track that I typically put in will have a lead in or an introduction, and I like to move the vocalists over a little bit. But again, you right click on, when you're selecting a particular one in a track, you can right click on it and display the waveform. So it gives you a hint of where the music starts and the singing and that kind of stuff. And you look at this one, and it's kind of hard to see, but you look here at the beginning, there's a little blip, probably where there was a noise made by the person recording it. And then here's probably where they started singing. So we may have to cut that off. And I may as well just do that right now. You just, again, you right click on the thing. First, I get the pointer over to a place where I want to cut it. And I'm going to cut it right after that little blip right there. And when you got the pointer up here on top to wherever you want, and you right click on the track that you want, you can say slice. And I don't want to keep both sides. I only want to keep the right side. So what it does is it removes everything past that. So then I got one video in, and notice that if I move my right arrow one little slot, it goes into that video. And you can see the picture, and you notice that she covers the whole screen. And we'll get to in a minute how that works, but I'm going to add the piano track, which is in here in my Muse score stuff under scores. That's kind of where everything is. And I'm going to pick the piano part. And it's just an MP3. So it comes up here as with just 2 little notes on it. And it's an MP3. I'm going to bring it down, put it in here, and do the same thing. I'm going to display the waveform. Now, typically, I like to also take, as I've said in a prior video, I like to create a piano accompaniment track that also has a click track or metronome track that's along with it. This one doesn't, but it's such as that. So now I'm going to want to move this Carol raw movie to where it is appropriately in the music. So this is a place where you'll have to listen to it and decide, looking at the music itself, and you can drag and drop it wherever you want. Let's just make an assumption that it's about there. But you can drag and drop these things and move them around. And let me just point out, I think I pointed out in the prior video, this little magnet, this little horseshoe magnet up here. I like to remove that. So unselect it. And then I also like to expand my viewpoint a lot. So I drag this one up here closer to the end, and now I can get the waveforms are all pulled out so you can see them better as how to move them. So if I go back here, you know, you can see where the piano actually starts, and maybe it's right here, and her singing starts just after that too. I'm not going to try to do this on the fly to show you how to do it, but then you take, and let's assume we've got everybody on here. And if you go back here to the beginning, which, you know, up here at the top, we can hit the jump to the start. And if you notice that as we go to the right, if I just use my right arrow, there's no picture yet until I hit one that's actually a video. And you may want to line up your videos so that everyone comes on at once, or you have the option of fading in. But what you're going to want to do is right at the beginning of everyone's video, if you look over here on the left, the properties, you're going to want to do the location X. Right now it's at 0, 0, which means it's right in the middle. If I take and move it, I can actually click on the middle of that and hold it, and I can move it backwards and forwards. You see the minus takes it to the left and the plus takes it to the right. And let's say we wanted to go over to the left. And the scale down here is the size. It's at 100% now. And I like to start out at somewhere around 25%, which is quarter size. It's not quite there, but you can click on it and actually type in the amount that you want. But say I'm at about, come on, go over one more, 26 and 26. Okay, I've got a picture. Then the other thing that you're going to want to look up is the crop height, width, crop X and Y, because you can see she has a lot of space at the top. So you're going to want to crop. Well, when you say crop Y, this is misleading. Crop X is what you want. And you want to, okay, let's get a little bit to the bottom. And then the width and height, the height is, anyway, you can move these around to get it the size you want. And now we're going to go back to our location X and Y. Now we got to move it a little bit more over, say we want it right over on the edge. And when you get close, you can say, okay, I'm a little bit far, so I'm going to go type in minus 0.43. And okay, that's pretty good. And location Y, say I want it up at the top. I just hit the minus key while I'm holding it down, or type in a minus and put it up in the corner. So that's going to hold through the entire video if you do it that way. That way you're right at the start and it's going to hold that position all the way through. So no matter what's happening in the video, they're going to stay there. There are some more complicated things you can do where you can split or slice a video and say, remove them from the video and bring other people in. It might be if you had 50 people on the video and you only want 20 of them on the screen at a time, and you fade them in and out and that sort of stuff. That's some more complicated stuff that I'm not going to get into here. But the things that you're going to be messing with are the crop, the functions, the location, and the scale. And then there's a pretty important one down here at the bottom called volume. And I'll just tell you up front that when you're doing a video of multiple singers or even instruments, you don't want full volume. You don't want 100% volume. Also, you're going to get volumes from different people that are different levels, and you can't cure them all ahead of time. You can try, but what I do is I like to start off with 15% volume. That way, the reason for that is that when you add all of these singers and instruments on top of each other, you add to the volume. And when you create the final file, you're going to have a lot of overdriven waveforms. You're going to have a lot of clicking and snapping sounds. So anywhere between, I'd say 5 and 15%, depending upon the quality of the original video, is a good place to be. Now, I don't want to mess with too many other things on here. The crop stuff, the location, the scale, and the volume are the main things that I deal with. You could play around with any of the other things, but that's kind of what you do to put the things in. And my way of doing it is I put the accompaniment in first, and then I overlay each vocal part. And I like to start with usually the lead parts, which may be the sopranos, and then move on to the altos and the tenors and the basses. But as you move each one, you add them to the tracks, and then that person's video is going to be filling up this whole screen, and you've got to size it and put it. So I would count how many people you're going to do, how many you're going to put on the video screen, and then decide how you want to size them and place them on the screen. So let me just show you the final version. Just to get an opinion. Let's see here. Okay, so here I have the whole group in here. I have a piano accompaniment, and then I have tracks of various people. And then as I go over here on my slider, get it over here to where everybody's in here. I didn't do a really fantastic job of these, but I got everyone fit on the screen. And so when we're doing it and listening to it, you have to make sure that they're all singing correctly and in the screen and that sort of stuff. So you get to this point, and it's still in OpenShot. And then how do I get it to finish out? The thing you got to do then is go over here and you say export project, and you export the video. I'm not going to do that because it'll overwrite the one I already have for this particular one. But you just do that, and it creates a video file, which is usually quite large, something that has to be either uploaded to YouTube or maybe Vimeo or something like that, or sent via a cloud service to someone else. So that's all you do, and you're done with the whole project. And then in my case, I send it to our music director, and she has a better ear than I, and we then go back to the place of balancing the different singers that may have been overshadowing each other, where in this case, I had to take the tenor singer was, for the last 16 bars, was singing too loudly, so I had to bring him down for the last little bit. One part of it, one of the singers hit a wrong note, so I had to take it out. Things like that you can do little by little, and you can edit a specific video and do things to it. So that's the whole process, and I hope you have success. If you don't, try looking at the videos again.